welcome to the Counterattack playthrough series, playing the Battle for Normandy, scenario Bloody Omaha. We are on the last day of the scenario. It's June 10th, so there's 3 turns left, the night turn, morning turn, and afternoon turn of June 10th. The Allies still have to capture Isigny-sur-Mer or fail to win the scenario. So we'll go ahead and start the night interphase with weather determination. Weather determination I've been using the fixed rules for weather right here. Historical weather, basically for the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. There's some other alternate rules for weather, but I'm just going to convert right over to rolling for weather. Let's roll 2 dice 6, look it up on the weather chart. I rolled a 10. It is partly cloudy, so that's good. No negative effects for the Allies, or Germans for that matter, at all for this scenario. Okay, so that's good. Then we will go into the replacement phase. So the Allies and Germans each have 1 infantry remnant available to them. We'll go ahead and do the Allies first, though. They're going to roll for replacements. I rolled a 5. Let's see, Allied replacements, 5. Half an armor point rounded down to 0. 1.5 infantry points rounded down as 1. So the US has 2 total infantry if we include the remnant. There's also a star here. 1 division can become motorized, so I'll process that in a minute. So I'll go ahead and reduce the infantry replacements for the Allies down to 0. So we have 2 infantry replacements. I'm not so sure what we have in terms of damaged units. I'm doing a pretty good job with these guys. I guess they're either dead or not damaged. It's a little bit here. We'll go ahead and spend 1 replacement to flip this. And not sure if we have anything else around here. Oh, here's another one. We'll flip that. Okay. Let me see what the motorized division deal is. Okay, that allows me to convert 1 division from I guess, foot-based movement style of division to a motorized one where all the infantry and such move by truck. And I think we might want to do this for the Big Red 1, since the 29th Division is going to be battering up against some units here. The 2nd Armored is too small to even care about at the moment. 2nd Infantry is not even on the board. So these guys, if they motorize, each unit that has a movement factor of 6 or less gets a +2 movement. So all these infantry would get +2 movement, and that might allow them to race around back over to Isigny-sur-Mer. I'm not going to hold my breath, and that's feel a little gamey because I assume in a campaign there'd be units in that back area, but we'll go ahead and do it. So what we do is we flip the headquarters over, and you can see there's a little truck icon. Okay, so now for the German replacements. They get 1 remnant, and then they're going to roll. Got a 5. That's 1 infantry cut in half is rounded down as 0. If I rolled a 1, one of their divisions, see that M there, would have motorized. Now the Germans have no infantry that can accept that remnant replacement. And to rebuild a unit from scratch requires 2 replacement points. I mean, they do have some wounded troops up in here, I suppose. No, maybe not. Yeah, but it's out of supply, and you have to be in supply in order to receive replacements. So that's that. So we'll go ahead and start the Allied Knight player turn. I've already, before I even got to this point, flipped all the Allied artillery over to their unfired side. But the first thing we do is the Allied engineering phase. I don't want their engineers to do anything. They're just going to be moving and fighting, so no need to do that. So then we'll go to the Allied night movement phase. It's called night movement because allies go at half movement rate at night. Let's go ahead and check down here first. So we check supply during the movement phase and at the moment of combat, and I think we have some guys that might be back in supply. So first of all, these guys here, so they can trace up to 6 movement points or hexes. So 1, 2, 3 movement points. And then it's not raining anymore, so farms cost 2. 4, 5. Oh man, putting this guy here wasn't actually good after all. So I cannot get into combat supply. Can I at least trace back to some other supply source? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5 to the beachhead. I just want to, sorry, that was off screen there. So 4.5, 5.5 to the beachhead. So I just want to see if I can at least be in supply while not necessarily being in combat supply. Yes, you can trace to your any supply source, but you have to go through your division to be in combat supply. And I keep forgetting this scenario, the allies are always in combat supply, so there's a little bit of a cheat for this scenario. Okay, so anyway, we can remove these out of supply markers from down here. Now this guy takes all your movement, I think, to cross a stream. Let's see. Oh, that was only in heavy rain. Cost +2 movement to cross a stream. So they could go 1, 1, 2 for the stream, 3, 4 for the farm, 5, 6. So not very good. But then I think I can just trace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that guy might still be out of supply. Well, I think we can go. Actually, since the streams are not prohibited, I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So these guys are in. Would normally, if this wasn't just a simplified scenario, be in general supply, but not combat supply. This guy is in combat. Can be in combat supply. Now, since this is a movement phase, I can just move the headquarters and try to get everyone into combat supply before combat. So it's a little bit moot. What else we have going on here? So we need to be assaulting to the east as hard as possible. That supply tracing I was doing with movement points, I'll have to see if that counts at night. I think it might be cut in half at night. So anyway, let's go. Let's see what we have here. I think these guys will go 1, 2, and since they only have 3 movement points at night, that's all as far as they can go. 1, 2. I was thinking at night I'd be really pushing guys back, but that's not happening. These guys can go 1, maybe, let's see, 0.5, 2.5. Yeah, so they're just gonna have to move over here if I want to do any kind of fighting. This guy hasn't moved yet, so he'll go 1, 2. Keep this guy here, maybe. No, he's gonna back off, I think. 1, 2. And then I want to try to get these guys in exploitation type mode here. So this guy will go 1, 2, 2.5. Guess this guy will slide over 1. This guy will go 1, 2. What else do we have down here? This artillery, this is all artillery, I believe. Yep. We'll leave it in place. I want to move this guy in a minute. Let's go ahead and land from the landing queue. This guy's on the landing queue, or on a beach. He's got 20 range. I think I'll just leave him here. Let's see what we have coming in. Yeah, we have plenty of room for these guys. So we'll go ahead and land a 12er range artillery here. That leaves one stacking point available. We'll fill it up with that guy. These guys will come in over here. I should be flipping these over. So okay, so engineer comes in here, the landing queue slides up, which it's small enough now, I don't mind doing that on camera. Okay, looking at that, there's no way we'll land everyone by the end of the turn, I don't think. Okay, get some more guys in here. Second armored, might as well move their artillery forward a bit. They'll just go 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, and then there's a unit up there, so I'll just go 1, 2 like this. These mech artillery, maybe we'll just slide them up a little bit. I think this mech will go 1, 2, 3. Okay, what else we have? This artillery is still in range of this thing. That's probably something I want to take care of. Let's see. These guys are back in supply. What about up here? Let me prove they're in supply. Well, I know they're in supply. They can trace to the beachhead, but what's the situation with their headquarters? Major river takes all of your movement, so I don't think I can trace hexes, but I can go this way across the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it is in supply. So let's move the big red one in this sort of gamey exploit back here. So these guys' movement is 6, but since they're now motorized, it's really 8, cut in half for night. So I think one of these will go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably want to be ready for a counter attack, so maybe we'll throw one in here with a minimum move. Maybe this guy will go 1. He'll just pile in with this guy. Then we have this guy, he'll go 1, 2, kind of blocked trying to get out of here, but headquarters can go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Still have some Germans down here that can probably get back into supply, or at least there'll be a thorn in my side stuck here. We'll just hit them hard with artillery. I think that's all the moves. End of the movement phase. And so that means it's now time for the Allied night combat / artillery phase. Let's see what we want going on over here. We have a mandatory attack situation. At night, actually, there are no mandatory attacks, but we have an attack situation here. I would like to attack this guy. That's 11 to 5. We're going to have -1 into farmland, -1 for night. This is the 29th Division. It has a tank, a core unit of an armored unit attached. Infantry and armor attacking together, +1 for combined arms, if I so choose to take that. So there's 2 battalions here though, so we can go ahead and throw in 2 artillery units for this attack. We'll go ahead and throw this bad boy in. So that's worth 4. I can still attach 1 more unit. We'll go ahead and just, we'll use this, another 4-pointer here. So that's total of 8 artillery plus 11 there, that's 19. So the Germans are defending with 5. They have 1 battalion, so they can throw in 1 artillery. However, all their artillery is spent because it moved last turn. Oh wait, we got some static batteries way over here. So that we'll use this static battery here. That's 2, so defend is 7. 19 to 7 is 2 to 1. Let's go ahead and roll. I rolled a 7. 7 on 2 to 1, -1 for knight, -1 for farmland, +1 for combined arms if I want. The defender, no matter what, will have to retreat. If I don't use combined arms, attacker takes a loss, otherwise they don't. So this is just an ordinary retreat situation. So this guy is going to fall back. These guys will advance. Okay. Any other attacks? Yeah, let's push down here. 29th has already done maximized its core, its attachments from other core. So these rangers can't attach since they're a core asset. We have 7 here attacking 2. 7 attacking across a stream is attacker strengths halved, so it's 3.5, rounded down to 3. But I think I'm going to throw some artillery in, so we'll just call it 3.5 for the moment. What do we have here? We'll flip both of these artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just barely in range. So that's 6. 6 plus 3.5 is 9.5. Round it down to 9. 9 to 2 is 4 to 1. It's going to be -1 into farmland, -1 knight, and across a stream, no die roll modifier because the attack strength was the real modifier. Germans, by the way, are out of supply, so they can't call on defensive artillery. I rolled a 9, so that's good. 9 on a 4 to 1. That'd be a nothing for the attacker. Defender 2 step losses and a retreat, but I have to subtract 1 for knight, 1 for farmland. That's a 1/2, so 1 attacker loss, 2 defender losses. Well, there's only 1 defender. Destroyed. German step losses increased by 1, hits the threshold of 5, so they'll get another. They would get another remnant next turn. I guess no point in tracking remnants. These guys can advance after combat. Actually, one of them has to take a loss. We'll go ahead and take it from this guy. He'll go down to a company. So losing cohesiveness here by taking those losses and breaking down the companies, as you can see from the attachment rules. This is good though. We're slight chance we can get to Insigne, but who knows. Okay, any other attacks? I don't believe so. We could use artillery to do some bombardments. I'm not sure if it's even worth it. How much artillery do we have around here? Oh wait, there's an attack waiting over here. We got this right here. So might as well just do it. We got 8 attacking entrenchments, which doubles the company there to 4 defense strength. Nighttime into farmland, that's -2. Let me see if the engineer gets a bonus for entrenchment attacks. Okay, they do get a +1 for attacking entrenchments, strong points, or into cities. They are supposed to take the first step loss, though. I'm not sure if I implemented that. I may have cheated there. Okay, so that's going to be at a total of -1 die roll. 8 coming in on 4. That's 2 to 1. But we might as well bump things up a bit. How about we'll throw 4 artillery down here. That'll get us to 3 to 1. And can't really bump it up anymore. So that'll be a 3 to 1 attack, -1. Rolled a 1. 1 on 3 to 1, -1 is 1 R to the attacker only. So the attacker has to take a loss. It has to be this engineer. Because I was using the engineering bonus, these guys must retreat. I suppose we'll go 1 over here and 1 over here. Increase the allied step losses, not that it matters. Okay, so that was a lousy attack. So maybe for fun, we'll just do a couple bombardments. You can't combine a whole bunch of artillery. It has to be 1 artillery per bombard. So we'll just do these second armoreds. We'll both bombard these positions. So this guy's going to go first. Basically, I have to roll the terrain, which is a village -1 to the defenses. Let's see, farmland, which is also there. It's also -1. So I have to roll less than 3, but I subtract 1 for the terrain. So less than 2 or less, I should say, to do any damage. 2 or less. Got a 7, miss. Okay, we'll flip this guy. Then we'll go ahead and bombard here. This will be farmland. It's also going to be, I need to roll 3 or less, -1 for the farmland, so 2 or less, +1 for an extra unit there. So back to 3 or less. Got a 3. That's a company takes a loss. One company loss. I think we'll flip as the Germans, flip the engineer to its damage side. Okay, so that was worth it. I probably should have been bombarding past several turns. You can't bombard someone that's already been attacked, though. Let's see, is any other things worth bombarding? I don't think so. Okay, so that ends the Allied combat phase for the night turn, and there's no mechanized movement at night, so that's the Allied turn. Okay, the German night turn. German engineering phase, they're not going to do any engineering. They're going to use that unit for combat. I flipped all their artillery over to the unfired side. Let's see. German night movement. Germans move at full movement as a reminder, and we also do supply checking. So if I recall, this artillery unit out here, which was out of supply because of the heavy rain, is believed in supply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, a city costs 1, yes. So they're back into supply, so they can do some bombardments, or at least be available. They're not in combat supply though, so they're only available for defensive fire. I believe that's true. Okay, these guys, their headquarters is right off the edge of the screen here. Yeah, they're out of supply for sure. So they're going to go ahead and move and see if they can extricate themselves. So their movement points are halved for being out of supply. They're on, and they cannot use road bonus. Though roads cancel terrain still, but they can't get speedy road bonus. They're on a secondary road, which has no road bonus anyway, so they'll go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So much for the big red one sneaking around back. Yeah, they probably should have moved into a position to block that path. These guys here, they can go 1, 2, 3. So they're pulling out. This guy here in the entrenchment, I think he's a good just thorn in the side over here, so we'll just leave him. There's another guy down here in a strong point. Is he back into supply? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Ease back into supply. Man, that rain was just brutal. Okay. Any other moves for the Germans? They have a few guys over here. They have a Feldersatz company left, but it can't be used for combat. It can only be used to replenish wounded units. Maybe this 352 battalion, or I guess it's the 1st Battalion of the 915th Regiment of the 352nd Division. I think they need to screw the Allies and just back all the way up to Insigny-sur-Mer. 1, 2, 3, 3.5. And Insigny-sur-Mer is a 2-hex city, so both hexes have to be taken. So I think that just clenches it for the Germans. But we'll go ahead and play through the rest of the days. German night combat. Don't think they're going to do any. Keep those artillery units available for counter battery or for defensive support. The strong point there does not have to attack. Down here is a little nervous because there's just artillery as a speed bump there. You know, maybe that means I should pull these guys back a little, at least pull the headquarters back a little. Just a little. And we'll move those artillery out once the Allies get close. So that's the end of the German combat phase, really, or movement phase and combat. They're not going to do combat. So we'll have to see what happens in the morning.